Welcome to the Generation Elevation podcast, a conscious, connected platform for those who are ready to manifest their dream life. I'm your host, Elise Riley, a former PT, now motivational speaker, igniting empowerment and transformation all across the globe. Here at Generation Elevation, we are committed to bringing you the most inspiring guests who will share their stories, wisdom, and advice to help you progress closer to living a life of your own terms.
Have you ever been in a situation whereby you have a thought that keeps coming up and you know you need to make a decision, but you just don't know what decision is the right one? Maybe you have a business idea. Maybe you don't know whether you need to stay in a relationship or not. Maybe you don't know if you should get into a relationship or not. Maybe they are the right person, or maybe they're not. Or maybe this is what you're supposed to do with your life. Maybe this is the right course, or maybe it's not. Or maybe this coach is the right person to work with, or maybe they're not. Who knows? Maybe this is the right decision I should make for dinner. But there are also so many decisions and so many options. How do I know if I'm picking the right one? You may be thinking this right now. You may be going through a situation in your life whereby you need to make a decision and you just genuinely don't know whether this decision is going to be right for you or not. And so today I wanted to speak about trusting yourself. How do you actually trust yourself to make the right decision? I wanted to start off with a story about myself and how I have come to have the most unwavering trust for myself, because this hasn't always been the case. In the past, I used to take a million years to decide what I wanted for dinner. I was a nightmare to go to a restaurant because I would get decision fatigue. I would literally be so overwhelmed with all the options that I would actually check the menu before going, and I would still get confused when push come to shove. I was always relying on others to make decisions for me, especially my ex-partner at the time, because I didn't want to make the wrong decision. I was so fearful of making a mistake. I was so scared to fail. And maybe you're resonating with this. So I'm really excited to share with you how I got beyond this, because it's so overwhelming. It's so annoying and frustrating not being able to just make a decision, to just back yourself 100% and go all in. Whether it be a new relationship, whether it be a new business idea, whether it be a coach, whether it be ideas, whether it be just what you're having for dinner. Whatever decision that you need to make right now, I am so excited for you, because in today's episode, I'm going to give you a little insight into some of the tools that I share with clients to help them gain that trust for themselves. I know when people start working with me, they feel lost, they feel confused, they don't have that confidence, and they do not trust themselves 100% to make the right decision. To make that decision that is going to lead them on the path, that is going to bring them to their higher self, to attract in the life of abundance that they've always dreamed of. They're not sure. And when they have finished coaching with me, when they have gone through that cycle, we release those limiting beliefs. We release that fear of failure. We release the major negative emotions holding people back from making that decision in the first place and going all in. And if this sounds like something that you would want to learn more about, definitely send me a message on Instagram and we can have a chat about how we can cultivate the right coaching package for you that is going to help you get to exactly where you need to be in order for you to live the life of your highest purpose. For now, I'm going to share with you some of the tools that help my clients after we've done all of the work on releasing limiting beliefs, major negative emotions, and other little surprises and magic along the way. I'm going to teach you the tools that I give to my clients after all of that. So this is actually a game that you can use to practice gaining that trust for yourself. Now, like I said, after you've done all the work of releasing those initial fears of making a mistake or failing in the first place, this is a really great game to play to boost your confidence within your own self further. So with that said, this game, I call it the yes-no game. Now, you can start with small things, whether it be where you're going to go for lunch today, what you're going to order. You don't have to make those major decisions right now today. However, if you can get this right and practice this with the small things, it will eventually cross over to those bigger decisions that you will eventually have to make. So, for example, with this game, you're going to trust the first answer that comes to your mind. Not worrying about whether it's right, whether it's wrong, but we're just going to play a game. It's going to be light, it's going to be fun, and you're going to just trust and see what happens. It could work out really well or not. However, this is just a game. So for example, it could be just asking yourself the question, where do I want to eat today? The first answer that comes to your mind, go there. And don't worry about, oh, but this, oh, but that, and no, yeah, but chickens, yeah, but, no, none of that. We're going to just trust the first answer that comes to your mind. Okay, I want to go here. So you go there. You get there. Okay, where do I want to sit? And the first answer that comes to your mind, go with that. Then we go through the menu, we're having a look what we want, and it's between two options. Do I want this one or this one? And your intuition, your first answer will be a yes or a no. Trusting and going with that option. And literally spending your whole day like this. Should I go this way or that way? Yes or no? Yes or no? Yes or no? Yes or no? And trusting where this will lead you. Because who knows? I have truly had some magical days by trusting the directions of myself, the people that I've bumped into, the experiences that I've had. I remember I asked myself this question, where do I want to go today? The beach. Okay, do I need this? Yes. Do I need this? No. And I asked myself, okay, whereabouts on this beach do I want to go? Here, okay. I drove there, got a park out the front, and I sat on the beach, and I was in a kind of a mood. So I was asking, okay, can I leave now? No. Can I leave now? No. Should I leave now? No. Should I leave now? Yes. So after I spent some time there, I read my book and hung out. It was finally time. My yes came through. It was time for me to go. And as I got up and left, I saw this big bus type thing. It was like a camper van and it had beautiful blue whales painted on it. And I asked my intuition, should I go talk to the lady that owns the bus? Yes. And then my ego come in. Oh no, I don't want to be that weirdo that goes up to her and talks to her and makes random conversation. No, I'm not doing it. And it was too late. My body had already started walking in her direction and one thing led to another. I was actually now conversing with this lady. I told her that the van life is something that I will want to do one day, and I was asking her about her van and any tips that she had, and it ended up being a really beautiful conversation, and it gets even better. So I started talking to her about my intuition and how I trust myself and how I believe in spirit guides, etc., etc. And this lady also had a belief in a higher power. For her, it was God. And she got me to sit in her van. And I asked myself, should I go in her van? Yes or no? The answer was yes. So really making sure you're trusting and discerning yourself in these situations, right? And I'm sitting in her van and she starts channeling and speaking tongues. And for me, this is called light language. She started doing a light language healing, channeling her God and speaking beautiful things to me. And whether this is a true thing, for me, in my model of the world, it was so beautiful and magical just to have that connection with her. And she was saying how God truly loves me and how he watches over me and that I'm an angel and all of these things. So it was such a random, beautiful moment. And I jump out of a van. I was talking about the whales, and we then happened to look straight over to the beach, and out breaches a whale from the ocean. So we both run down to the ocean, and it was the first time I'd ever seen whales in Queensland, and they were breaching, and it was just the most magical moment I've ever experienced, or one of anyway. All because I trusted myself to lead me to there. Sometimes we don't need to know all the steps. It's like when we get in our car at night to go over to our friend's house or go to a restaurant. Maybe I'm hungry. Maybe that's why there's all this talk of food. We don't actually see the whole path. We put it in our GPS and trust we're going to get there, because our lights will only show us 20 meters ahead, if they're good. Mine, I'm not so sure. But you know what I mean, right? We only can see the 20 meters ahead in the dark. But as we keep moving forward and we take one step, or in this case, a few meters, the rest of the path eventually unfolds and we can see it more clearly. So, whatever decision that you have to make, whether it be now or in the future, know just to take the first step. Just take the littlest step that you can. Because as you take that step forward, as you keep trusting yourself to do so, the steps get bigger, the steps get clearer, and then you will know. You will come to a point where you know it is time. I remember I spent a long time worrying about the worst case scenario and what if I make the worst case decision when I went through my first major breakup. I was so worried of making the wrong choice. And I spent so long in this place of anxiety and fear, letting this hold me back and stay stagnant instead of moving forward, little step by little step. And it was only once I spent that time cultivating trust within myself, practicing, using the yes-no game, releasing my fears, releasing my limiting beliefs, learning how to love myself and building my own confidence, was when I was able to get to that point where the steps got clearer, the steps got bigger, and I just knew.
Thank you for being a part of the Generation Elevation community. If you enjoyed today's episode, make sure to leave a 5-star rating, written review, share, and tag me on Instagram at elise.riley. Until next time, keep loving, keep learning, and keep rising.